I think she's gonna be translating until we just get her a little bit pissed. And she starts clapping back in Japanese. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beefsteak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and then they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. Don't question it, Pillow. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. This is a condemning... No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Objection!
What, you filthy wretch? Look at you black-hearted blackguard, and look at the snow-white angel. I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe. You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn. Ugh, but he's so annoying! Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before and reported back to the bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so. On the day in question, this lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. What a dirty bitch. As you can see, there's nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm, and that's where you'd be wrong. In Victorian dresses, they could easily conceal a sword or any other kind of weapon in the bosom part of their dress. Just saying. Don't assume. We bitches carry. I would think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit she wanted to. See, Ryunosuke knows what I'm saying. Unless and until the precise location of where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. There are the witness's own words on the matter. Alright, that's ridiculous. If one was allowed to live up her trust, I could prove it. That's harassment. Don't do that. Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke. But I didn't fire the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day. In your titties, man. You got big titties. You can put a gun under there. You can put a fucking bazooka under that, okay? You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we have to pull her testimony apart. Ooh! She smiled. Oh, what a bitch. Yes, so, Your Excellency, I will cross-examine. A frightening and sorrowful sight. I had arranged to meet a slightly luncheon with the guy with him that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered the beefsteak for myself.
Yes!
He was unable to eat seaside. And that was because he had just had a tooth removed at the Hata clinic, right? That's correct. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Brett aware of that fact? It seems so, yes. She'd heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly how it was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left? Dear me, what a harrowing sight. Wait. So why was it on his side? I just noticed that. This is where she was sitting. This is where he was sitting. As we already established, she wasn't eating the meat, so the steak should have been on her side, but why is it here? Somebody moved it! Hey, somebody moved it. Englishwoman takes off the mask, reveal red herring. I will be the only one who gets that joke. Yes, she will, JP, as is the norm with you whenever you make jokes. Dear me, what a harrowing experience to have traveled to a distant land on the far side of the world to be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight. So, the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all? Well, it was the kid version of Scooby-Doo? Wait, I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name either, though. He had some carbonated water. Just water, but carbonated. It appears that the Giants toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. But there's like wine there. They each raised a glass of carbonated water. What do you think, Ryunosuke, about the witness's last statement? But isn't there wine on the table too? That ain't carbonated water, bitch. I know a wine bottle when I see it. And I don't even drink wine. That last so many years, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case. Well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing? Kind of grasping at straws. The significance of the same will become apparent when the time is right. Defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony. Well, sidestep to counsel. Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official's testimony. Oh, that was a reference to the Kids version of Scooby-Doo? Oh my god, look at Mr. Lin getting JP's, like, obscure jokes. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. That was brilliant, Kazuma. My god, me. I'm going to remember that one. Which one? Significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase. I hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke. Bitch, that's some, let me see. That's some motherfucking wine right there, bitch.
Yes!
I love that face. Oh my god, go back to that face. That's it! Go back to that face, please. That was like the greatest what the fuck face ever. Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the scene of the crime. That it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, that is, it's odd, very odd. Dear me, what is odd about the defense what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself. Ugh. Ryunosuke, what is it about the print that looks so odd to you? Well, obviously it's the cheers. The cheers? Miss Brett just told us she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true... Oh, there's only one glass. I thought it was the wine. There should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here. Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutiae? What possible difference does the presence of or absence of a glass make on the case?
Objection!
Everything, you bitch. Mitsue, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to try and tell me you can clink with only 1? You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. like how he looked at her. I actually stole the glass. Sorry, it's up my ass. Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. What? It was all so terrifying every minute that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all, she says. She's saying. Goodness gracious, well, we still fucking found you, bitch. Sorry. 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 Bitch. Cunt. There, as I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all. Oh, please. You must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or two in her state of disarray? Her chat holds Chrissy back from finding Miss Brett. Let me out the bitch! Oh, let me go! Oh. Oh god, yeah, no, don't even make glass in that. Don't even use glass for that. That's fucking painful sounding. It ain't worth it. I'm gonna be at that bitch. I'm gonna fucking punch that swan or a goddamn hat too. God, I fucking hate her. So, do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief? What? No. This can't be put down to mischief. She literally fucking killed somebody. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. Like I said, I shoved it up my rear end. It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying. A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency, a small handheld pouch commonly carried by a well-to-do woman in England. So the beautiful lady has graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end, it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already. Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed the glass. I think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? I don't know. If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance. Yeah, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. If there's a deeper significance there, it's... Oh, she could have concealed a gun, yeah. Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say? Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English women carry handbags for small items. Let's see, a little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right. Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too. What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire that gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will. You can't seriously be suggesting. Inspector Hasanaka. Yes. Did you or did you not search Ms. Giselle Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir. I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun. The one that was actually used to kill the professor. Could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag. Ugh. No! Order, order, order! What is the meaning of this, Inspector? The meaning of what, Prosecutor Yuchi? Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your blundering incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations. Murmurs. Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? She doesn't look bothered. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god! Sorry. Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. As I have said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary. Really, bitch? Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I have completely forgotten about. This photographic print. Oh, it's a see-through? This print of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. As you can see, it clearly shows Mitch Brett's handbag. Why never? You can see right through to what's inside. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of the fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly, so there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. Ugh. As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Oh, I hate how they both did the head tilt. Oh, thank you for helping to prove that, Naruhodo-san. Oh, they're totally fucking, dude. Ugh! They're totally fucking. It's in her titties! Search the titties! With consent, of course. Order, order! Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once. Certainly, Your Excellency. I think you have long enough to cross-examine the witness counsel. Ugh. The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted to the court appears to have no further significance, I am satisfied there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Indeed, there is only one logical conclusion, that the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime. No, just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around, I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Kazuma? Oh, Kazuma. I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean that this is it? I really am gonna die? Don't worry, you won't be the first innocent person we put into jail. There are hundreds like you across the world. I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student, but the weak are meat while the strong eat. Do you eat meat, dude? What does that fucking mean? You were wasting your time. There's no way to defeat true justice. No, we refuse. This trial will fucking continue whether you like it or not. A fact you can chew on your heart's content from the inside of your cell. This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma, his dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma, what? Is there really no chance of now turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about that last photograph the detective produced that we can contest, which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. Very well, I will now proceed immediately to the ruling. It seems we'll be able to report to the British government on time after all. Look at, oh man, he's fucking kind of cute. He's kind of hot when he's mad. But look at Ryunosuke, he's so cute when he thinks. Ryunosuke Naruhodo has considered... I did the hand slam thing, yeah! Wait, Your Excellency! Ryunosuke? I don't think you can rule on this case yet.
Objection!
This amateurish is getting tedious. Amateurishness, whatever. When His Excellency deems the trial's over, he gives his ruling. This is the most basic protocol of the courtroom.
Yes.
Your Excellency, just a moment ago, you said this. As the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now that means that if there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail, then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question.
Objection!
This is plain straw clutching. Look at this photographic print. And all it shows is the handbag the gentleman was carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence. You better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag. What's not it's the tramp stamp right here. Happens to be on his arm. Ha, my thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution's becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes. Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph that just doesn't seem right. If I can only put my finger on it, literally, I will put my finger on it and point it to you all. Okay, getting one final opportunity. What? Oh, fuck, bro! Oh my god! It's gonna knock somebody out! But be warned that if I am unsatisfied by your response here, the trial will be over with immediate effect. Do I make myself clear? Oh my god, he fucking scares me. The judge in the other games just kind of looks at you with with a stern look, like a dad. But this man's like with his gavel, like, I'm telling you right now, boy, if you fucking waste my time, I'll put an end to your ass. Okay? Oh my god. My defense are these nuts, Your Honor. Case closed. Judge is like, I respect that. Yes, Your Excellency. So, take another look at the photographic print Inspector Hasanaga submitted before. Okay, like he says, if you waste my time, it's done. Meanwhile, it's only like one point of our life.
Yes!
Look at this here. Becca! Hi! Hi, Becca. How's the queen doing? There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. That is true. It looks almost like a burn of some description. Oh, she's like, oh, I've been caught. I have been slandered. Dear me, I was pardoned what new piffle. You would come out with a burn, you say, on the victim's wrist? It's Garfield and Christy. Clearly that has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag. Yes, that is a burn mark, you're right. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. You have been bamboozled! You weren't punked, lady. I called you lady, I'm sorry. You weren't punked, Becca. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note in his report. What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either. The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by this curious shape of this mark. However, as Prosecutor Yuchi points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown... Red Crispfield? Oh my god. That would be my name if I got married to Chris from Resident Evil, honestly. I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this case. Oh god. This British lady keeps saying something and I don't know what she's saying, mate. Christy the voice actor. Me the voice actor, putting on my 1 to 2 voices. Excuse me, Excellency. I would see that Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the dean and other... Bitches, motherfucker, I don't give a shit! You're in the fucking court of law! Cancel your fucking planes! Stupid cunt. Oh, I'm sorry, but I got like a hair appointment to get to. I gotta get going. Who gives a shit? She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now. Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway. What's your thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe this burn does have something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. I'm kind of grasping at straws. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. That's the Naruhodo way. Just kind of grasp at straws and hope it, it does something. So I was thinking I should just keep digging and digging and hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. I am? If we can just link that burn to the case, if we can do that, then we might be able to price this shutting a door back way open. Just give up, counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that. Indeed, I am afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture. But if we had evidence that if you to be linked the burn on the victim's wrist to the case, then would you allow it? I would, yes. To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. But as soon as you pointed out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face, which is still as white as fuck, so I didn't notice shit. Really? I have to find some link between that burn and the case. This is the moment of truth. How many times have we said that? So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court.
Yes!
What's this, counsel? Yet another print? Yes, Your Honor. I mean, Your Excellency. Oops. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore. Do hurry up, rookie. What are you trying to say? Spit it out! To inconvenience this poor lady any further would really be quite inexcusable. Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer if you don't mind, Miss Brett. Ooh, biddies! Thank you for the biddies, Becca. Thank you for the biddies. I should move that up a bit. Much appreciated, Queen. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to the unusually shaped burn on his wrist? Yeah, really, Pillow. This guy needs to shut the fuck up. Well, we can't inconvenience the beautiful lady. Well, she's a fucking bitch. Who gives a shit? The reason it was recorded here forevermore. What? How?
Objection!
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What is it in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn?
Yes!
That thing. The beefsteak? Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on. The plate? Oh! Your Excellency, are you alright? As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of Le Carnival. Oh god, my fucking tits itchy. Can't scratch it. Because of this fucking costume. This emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn. I'm sorry, it really is. Are exactly the same shape. Ah! Ryunosuke, you genius! Now my stomach's doing. You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant.
Objection!
I'm just like, open the door. Was the door open to I thought somebody... I thought I heard my mom. I was like, why is she in here? Oh, okay. I'm gonna take off this hat real quick because it's like getting in my face. But even if that is the case, you can't know what happened on that day in question or not. It could have been the day before or the day after that. It most likely happened on some other day at some other unrelated time. Well,
Objection!
Sadly, Prosecutor Ayuchi, the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks. Why? The outline of the bird is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hasanaga? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly. But... I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well identified, well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This is no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. It's inconceivable the victim would have let out a scream of pain then. I've been investigating the restaurant for several weeks already, but I have not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter Le Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation. But you're a detective, not a waiter!
Yes!
There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. Do I want to order something later? There's no question of that. And yet Inspector Hasanaga never heard the professor scream, not on that day or any day before it. That's right, and the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day, that would be beyond careless, I think, counsel. Then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antiques dealer, all of us would be with... Look at that fucking face. Like that's like a what the fuck face. It's like... like you just can't believe what you just heard. Or realizations like, huh. I have heard him scream. When I've heard him scream, wouldn't you agree, Professor Ayuchi? I suppose. So the question is, why did a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? I almost don't believe Ryunosuke. Do you think he was dead before he was dead before he got burned? Can it really be true? I never dreamed we would have arrived at a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe we've been led into a terrible trap. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to hide his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already deceased. No man could remain quiet or silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible, apart from one particular situation. counsel? Are you suggesting... Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead. Oh, already? Dead? Oh. Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead. That's madness! It is. Order, please, counsel. Explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot. That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is just another ridiculous play by the rookie student, but clearly he has no grasp of the facts.
Objection!
No, Prosecutor Yuchi, it's you who has no grasp of the facts. I beg your pardon? As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down, or have you not grasped that yet? Ugh. Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it's true that as we now believe, the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard. It's highly unlikely that Miss Brett knows something. It's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your lunch on engagement. But, Your Excellency! Is she finally gonna speak? The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment. We are about to pass judgment numerous times before, any doubt could be cleared. Thank you, Your Excellency. Fucking speak, bitch. Come on. You fucking dog. Fucking speak. What was that smile? Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours. Miss Brett, you speak Japanese? Oh, tea and crumpets. Well, of course I do. I am studying in your country after all. I can't do a fucking accent. But then why you been speaking through an interpreter until now? My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking your vulgar tones as much as possible. Ah, racism. Casual racism. But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicate with you, all of you, on your own level. Oh, well. You're the epitome of a true English gentlewoman. We are truly honored by this lavish consideration you so graciously afford us. I see. He's not having any of it. Chat holds JP back from fighting Miss Brett. Don't fight her, man! It's worth it! Plus, I'm first in line anyway. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. Of course. So we're finally going to hear our own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's any other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me poison. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. Yeah, Ace Attorney reading. Yeah. That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in the Supreme Court's history, thank you. Yes, he does it. I hope that is the last time we'll have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone with my racism. Not at all. It's delightful, a delight merely to hear you speak, dear lady. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant. I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today. The Minister of Justice? May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen. Thanks? Was that a prayer then? Well, you'll have to forgive the irritation, Miss Pratt, and put up with cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. I'm sure I don't need to remind. Well, no, she's British, so just by being a British person, she has power. Just by being white, she has power. Even the country she does not live in, she has power. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? Love it. Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed with the court examination. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burned his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the press and I raised our glasses in the toast. As far as I heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it.
Yes!
Inferior? What do you mean by that? In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at the crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once and that's the end of it. Isn't that so? Quite right. La Carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident. And you're proud of that? Exactly, which means that even if... Excuse you. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. It doesn't even occur to your native detectives to try and preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can, you understand? Killer blow! The lady is as formidable as she is beautiful. She's insulting our system. Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Professor Ryuchi is finally starting to see sense. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when some things didn't seem quite right. What do you think, Ryunosuke? I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected, she's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over. Go to the hospital, Inspector. Clear you need it. Be tactful about my fist in your face, bitch! Kazuma? What, Ryunosuke? There is one thing I noticed. Something that's been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean about Miss Brett? Actually, no. About this person standing next to her, Inspector Hosonaga. The detective? Yeah. He seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant, if I might present an opening maybe. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing on her last statement one more time. If you think so, but this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, target the man who's bleeding to death. Alright then. I wonder what Kazuma's thinking. I'll find out soon enough, I suppose, once I press Miss Brett on her last statement again.
Yes!
Wait.
Yes, there it is again. The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the Englishwoman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down. You're right. Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts all alone. It's time to pursue the man in his train of thought. Sorry, pursue. I'll explain how to do it, Ryunosuke. It all has to do with the witness marker. What marker? At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who's the person actually making the current statement. Throw the sword at her. Wow! But by moving the marker left and right with A and D, you can turn your attention to other people in the stand. While you're looking at the other witnesses, you can... Okay, let me get there. Let me do it. Let me do it. I know what the fuck. Don't need to repeat it.
Wait.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Wow. What is the meaning of this? You really need to see a doctor. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts, deeply. It looks like you looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what lay next to you had to say. Bless me. If there's something you'd like to say, please share with the court.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? It's the delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. Thank you. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately. Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Yeah. Not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved with the case. Inspector Hasanaga? Yes? Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett? I'm surprised that thing isn't covered in blood by now. Well, yes, if you don't mind, I would like to speak. Oh, she's pissed. Oh, she's pissed. The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain, which is why I, Satoru Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking at my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. I'm not gonna charge you for that, but okay. Crime scene thief? Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this, for example. Is that... This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it. One day our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming, I guarantee it. I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle as evidence. So this is carbonated water. It's the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had. It looks like there's a little left in the bottle, although it's just plain water now. You know, I've been sweating so much, I'm absolutely parched. I'll just have a sip of this to keep me going. No! What the fuck? Ryunosuke, you can't do that. For one thing, that's evidence. You can't go drinking evidence. He's such an idiot. Oh, no, you're right. We don't know what may be inside, do we? You never cease to amaze me, Ryunosuke, in more ways than one. Wink, wink. I wonder, could there be anything in this water? What's the matter? You've gone on quiet all of a sudden. I think I might have just worked out something out. Interesting possibility. Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death? Yes, it was that bottle. What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. Very well, counsel, you may resume the cross-examination. And expect to occur in the controller's favor.
Yes!
What is this? The bottle of water? Actually, there is one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring to poison. Poison? On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? Order, order, order! And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink? There's only one person who could have possibly have done it. Jill Brett, it was you.
Objection!
This is outrageous to suggest such a thing without a scrape of evidence. You little rookie imbecile, have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten what we have only just signed in a accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even the vaguest inkling that your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty?
Objection!
This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime. What? The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth. Ugh. If I may, I will silence you forever for this disgraceful attack. It is you who should be silent. Oh, of course. Sorry, my dear lady. Where did that come from? She just snapped. My dog's barking, sorry. I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies. I can't do an accent, but I'm trying. Tea and crumpets, I don't know. I'm sorry, my lady. What are you referring to? I described your police force as inferior. But no matter how inferior they may be, You still investigate this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean. The inspector, and whether it contained poison or not. Of course. It didn't contain poison, did it? Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents. And? What did you find, Inspector? I ordered tests for every toxin available in this country at the present time. Maybe it's a toxin that's not available in Japan. We couldn't find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. What? You sure? The tests were meticulously carried out by the chief coroner himself. No! No! I'm very grateful to all you Japanese. You successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you. But of course, dear lady, the pleasure was all ours. I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. I mean, not all poison can be found in your local shopping mall. Thank you, counsel. I think cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution had asserted, a shot to the chest from the gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit. I'm done for. This court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience that has caused you, Miss Brett. Oh no, I'm just glad the matter is resolved. Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further evidence to present to the court at this point? Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. I have nothing more. Well, if you'll excuse me now, I really must be leaving. My dogs are just barking. Hold it! Mikotoba? Please, wait! Isn't that... What is the meaning of this? Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Sasato Mikotoba, judicial assistant to the defense. Mikotoba? Oh my god, that's Ryunosuke's new girlfriend! Yes, Queen, in my darkest hour with no one left to go, she appeared like a bolt light. Oh, that's shipping material if you have ever seen it. I feed off this. In her hand, she carried a small package wrapped around it a furoshiki cloth. That is like such good shipping material. Oh my god.